Okay, we've got some breaking news and some more 3D news, and just recently we had another 3D news video for the spring, so that's kind of a good thing to have a lot of 3D news. Let's get into it. All right, so the breaking news is a new 3D camera and one that looks actually decent. But first, before that, I want to talk about the Spatialify app for the iPhone. This was the app we demoed before. It's how you convert your spatial videos into normal side-by-side 3D videos that you can use on other devices. Well, anyway, Spatialify also has a camera feature. And before we tried another app, we tested it called Spatial Camera, and this enabled other options like high frame rate in full HD as well as 4K 3D at 30 frames a second. But the major problem was that the videos were not in sync. Well, anyway, Spatialify also offers these two options, but the videos are in sync, thankfully. Of course, there's the inherent limitation with the iPhone 15 that one eye is going to be less quality than the other. So you're not going to get even full HD quality in one eye, while the other will be 4K. But it's still nice to be able to get that little uptick in quality. And once a new iPhone comes out, hopefully they'll fix that and have identical lenses. So that's not the app's fault, of course. But the other thing that does make it different from the stock camera app with the iPhone is that the stabilization isn't as good. It has a little bit of stabilization, but you can see artifacts on the sides and top edges where it's compensating. So anyway, let's just take a look at some samples filmed. First, the high frame rate, 60 frames a second at 1080p. And now the 4K at 30 frames a second. And now a still photo. Yes, it also takes still pictures. So anyway, now the big news, a new 3D camera from Acer. They have the Spatial Labs brand name that they use for their monitors and laptops that are pricey. But 3D is 3D. No matter what the branding or hype or artificial exclusivity, we know that 3D is 3D. Left and a right image, old as time. Now this camera is looking really decent. There was sort of like the dark times recently after the initial reintroduction of digital 3D, and we got a whole bunch of cameras and camcorders, but then it went dead, and there was a lot of VR 180 cameras. You had to deal with distortion, and when you fix that, the resolution would be unusably low, and they're just like really low quality sensors, a lot of not good products. So, which made the value increase of old 3D cameras and camcorders, like from JVC, Sony, Fuji. But anyway, those prices for those used models have been dropping recently on like secondhand sites like eBay, with introduction of usable cameras like the QCam Ego, which not only does stills but also full HD video at high frame rate. Well, now we got an improvement. This new camera from Acer just looks very basic, no style over substance, no distortion. You got true 16:9 3D dual video with identical lenses, and guess what? It's 4K. 4K 3D, an improvement on the iPhone 15's camera like we were talking about. Both lenses are the same. Takes stills in full frame and video, 4K at 30 frames a second. There's not word yet on if there will be further options like different resolutions and frame rates, but it's definitely possible we could get high frame rate options. It has a screen, 2D likely of course, but that's workable. Has autofocus, touch to focus, both manual and auto settings, and electronic image stabilization, and that's important because that's what makes the video from the iPhone 15 look better than other cameras, including the QCam Ego, besides the high frame rate part. And they also tout streaming abilities like streaming on YouTube and Teams and Zoom. They mention a selfie mirror. I'm not sure what that looks like or how that works. There's also what appears to be a knob or a light or something. There's not a lot of information. It was just announced, but it's supposed to be coming out later this year, third quarter to be exact. And here's the interesting part. They said regarding compatibility that it can work with Meta's headset as well as Apple Vision Pro, and they even mentioned 3D projectors. So that's really interesting. Does that mean it will maybe output in half SBS? And regarding the Apple Vision Pro, will it perhaps record natively in that next-gen frame pack format that Apple uses, which isn't theirs, but was really intended for Blu-ray but never used? That would be really nice to see this, that format, which is called MVHEVC, or multi-view high efficiency video codec. It's sort of like the stereo version of H.265 that UHD Blu-ray uses, with again more options for resolution and frame rate. So anyway, it'd be nice to see that format get some more use, more of a foothold, and lead to more compatibility across different manufacturers, different devices, different software, because competition breeds improvement. And speaking of which, the price for this new camera is $549. That's pretty good for the first real 4K 3D consumer camera. Takes stills too. That's pretty decent price. Now of course, won't have optical zoom, but you'll be getting decent sensors, likely due to being more recent. They're going to be lower on noise, better low light performance than older cameras from years past, even higher quality ones. But anyway, check out some of the samples. They did upload still sample as well as video samples in 4K 3D. There's no audio on them though. That was their choice, so there's no telling how good the microphone is, but here's the video samples. And regarding Leia, quick update on that. They did a rebranding of their AI conversion, which was Leia Pix. Now it's called Immersity AI, which uses AI to generate depth maps. Surprisingly good ones. It's getting better and better. So now you can not only do conversions of stills, you can also convert your videos. It does cost money though to convert these things. It can cost a good amount to convert a feature film, but compared to where we were just a few years ago with the possibility of this, it's an amazing option to have. And the LoomPad 2, which is their currently best device available in the States, is currently priced at $499, which is pretty decent, and it's a great tablet. And again, I'll likely be announcing a phone later this year, but we'll have to wait and see about that. So until then, see you later.